Welcome, guys. Rob Tatro here. Hope you guys are well. This is episode 155 of TRJ, The Running Journey. I'm Rob Tatro. We'll be joined in this episode by my brother, Charlie Tatro. Man, we are coming off a neat little run here of episodes. Last week's episode with Simon Bérubé, very well received. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for all the positive comments about that episode. That guy's a beast. 2:19 in his first marathon. If you haven't listened to it, go back and listen to episode 154. Today's episode, it's Charlie and I. We have not discussed. Him and I have not chatted at all about running. It's kind of the thing we do now. We don't discuss because we want to save our convos for the podcast. So I didn't really know what was going on in his life, other than I could see how many absurd miles he was doing. I was like, do we need to check on my brother here? He ended up doing 600 kilometers last month, 660 kilometers or something. And this is training for his backyard. So he talks about that. We are definitely two guys going in opposite directions. I am miserable, as you will tell from this episode, about this injury that's preventing me from training. And I don't even know what's going to happen with Tokyo at this point. But I'm all in to try to get a sub-3 if I can. Not been able to run much, but a bit of a detail, right? It's not like I'm training for a marathon. Charlie, on the other hand, is crushing it. Fastest he's ever been, best he's ever felt. He is locked and loaded, and he's going to do very well at the backyard. Couple announcements in this episode, really neat announcements about races we're doing, special teaser of something that's coming up that I'm doing. So neat stories as well about running, track running also. So listen up, guys. It's a great episode. Charlie and I chatting about our upcoming big races for each of us, the Tokyo Marathon and the LA Marathon. Episode 155 of The Running Journey. It is a good one. Enjoy. Hey, welcome. This episode for February 5th, 2026. I'm here with Charlie, my brother, Charlie Tatro. We are now, 3 weeks and a bit away. 4 weeks and a bit away from your LA Marathon, 3 weeks and a bit away from my Tokyo Marathon. Lots of stuff going on. You and I have not talked about what's going on in our lives for a while here because we've had guests, we've had recap episodes, So first question, how are you been, man? How are you doing? I don't even know how you're doing. I mean, I see it looks like you're doing unbelievable, but how you been?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Yeah. So in terms of workouts are great. How about you?
Not so good for me, but I was just looking at your Strava just before we got on here, and you've got like 660 kilometers already this year. I mean, already this year of running, and that's in like 34 days or whatever. So you're averaging over 20 kilometers a day. So, man, you did some heavy mileage. Can we start there? Maybe start with your yards. I know you're doing a lot of yards. How's that been going? Tell us what you've been doing.
Yeah. So for
this backyard training.
Yeah. So after I came back, or after the new year started, I kind of made a long-term plan for backyard and marathon training at the same time. And for some reason, I really wanted to get the number of yards that I was doing to a relatively high number before April 24th.
Okay, April 24th is the day of our race.
Yeah.
The BC backyard.
But I figured for tapering for a backyard, you're probably better off tapering very long. I'm guessing, because there's no point in, you don't need to be fit for a backyard. In terms of
aerobic,
in terms of running a marathon, fast marathon, you don't need to be fast is I guess what I'm saying, fit in that way. So you just need to have a lot of miles on you. So I figured I would want to build up and have like a 3.5, 4 week taper for that. And I wanted to get my yards up really high. So my plan was to do, for the weekends leading up to the backyard, would be to do as many yards as I can, which is feasible without getting injured. But I figured
a quick pause. quick pause. A yard is 4.16 miles, 6.6 kilometers. And during the backyard, the race is you do as many of these as you can on the hour, every hour, last person standing, 4.1 miles per hour. So your yards, you're talking about yards, you're talking about 6.6 kilometers?
6.7 kilometers, yeah. So my kind of stretch goal was I was hoping maybe I could get up to about 40 yards in a weekend.
Okay, so that'd be 200 and...
As like the peak.
Wow.
So that'd be, I don't know, like not quite 200 miles, like 150 miles, whatever. Or it's a bit more than that on a weekend. So I figured I had to start building up right away. I didn't have time to wait. But at the same time, I had my marathon. So I had to juggle both of those things. So I decided I was going to do yards for a few weeks, hopefully learn a couple things, and then go back to my marathon training. So I got 3 weeks in of yards. I got the first weekend, I'd actually planned to do 12, but I only did 8. And then I did 16 the next weekend, all on the treadmill. So those were a little easy because it was really bad. So the first weekend I did them all outside and the conditions weren't great and it's pretty tiring.
Running for 8 hours straight, it's pretty tiring.
Well, just running in the snow and I was running for 8 hours straight. It's no big deal. So I think actually I did the 20. I did 16 outside. I did 8 the first, and then I did 20 on the treadmill for 3 weekends in a row. And then last week, I was supposed to do more yards, but I did 8 yards on Friday, and I felt like my ankle was getting a little stiff at the end. It just felt a little weird. So I pulled a chute for the rest of the weekend. And I was actually going to take Saturday, Sunday off. But then by the time Saturday came along, middle of the day, like I didn't feel it anymore. So it's this weird injury where I feel it immediately after running for a couple hours and then it goes away. And then
is this a new one? Is this a new injury? Is this a new
this is a new one from all the yards. So I first felt it. I first felt it when the weekend I did the 20 yards on the treadmill. Right at the end, I felt it.
So you spent 20 hours on a treadmill over a weekend?
Over a weekend, yeah. So
goodness gracious, Charlie. Oh my God.
But 1 hour at a time. So it's like you get breaks
but it's not 1 hour at a time because you're doing them 4 at a time or 6 at a time, are you not?
Yeah. So I did 4 on Friday that weekend. I did 4 on Friday. I did 5 on Saturday morning.
So that means a 4-hour jog on Friday night. Yeah.
Yeah. And then 5 on Saturday. But for the Saturday, the morning ones, I was coming in, I was hanging out, and then I'd go back out.
Yeah. You'd run them in 42, 44 minutes, something like that.
No, so this is the other thing. So my backyard plan, I'm planning to like really vary my paces. So I'm practicing all different types of paces. And actually the other value, that unintended value of doing these yards besides the training, was I'm really understanding how the different speeds feel in terms of like effort wise, and then also how much time you have in between, and even practicing naps a little bit in between. But like one of the things I learned, or I did all my data analysis the week I did 20 yards on the treadmill, and I'd say that's a pretty controlled environment. And I'd have to pull up the stats, but from what I remember, it's about 10% less energy, or less. My heart rate's about 10% lower on a slow loop than on a fast loop. And I don't mean while I'm running, I mean for the entire hour. So factoring in the rest and everything.
10% lower on a slow loop than on a fast loop? Yeah.
So let's say.
What do you define as a slow loop?
So let's say my slow loop is 55 minutes. Okay.
Okay.
What I was measuring was the 55 minutes plus the 5-minute rest. What was my heart rate for that entire hour, compared to, let's say, a 42-minute loop, with an 18-minute rest. I was comparing the entire hour to the entire hour. And even with the 18-minute rest, the average heart rate, I guess because you don't bring it over a certain point, the average heart rate on the slower loop is much lower.
Yeah, I can kind of see that, I guess. And the idea is that you're saying, I just want my heart to work less for an hour, regardless.
Well, like if I take heart rate as a proxy for energy used, which it's got to be pretty close, right?
I think so. Yeah. I don't know.
Mean,
I trust.
Well, it could be a close proxy, let's say. Yeah. Not 100%, let's say, but I mean,
you're basically saying it's the best way to measure how much energy I'm expending, but also like how much gas I'm wasting in the tank, how much gas will be left in the tank.
Well, yeah, that doesn't factor in that like the fast loops, I'm going hard for some periods.
Yeah, so you're actually taking away, and you're increasing the risk of injury, and you're increasing the risk of breakdown. And
well, it's more, and it's also more carb usage, right? So you're not using as much fat.
Okay, but wait, I thought you had decided that you were going to do I thought you had decided that the strategy in Utah last year was not a good one, or you're changing.
No, I think overall it was a good one.
Okay.
I think that there is a benefit. So the other thing is, this is the other thing I learned. The benefit of doing a faster loop is that when you start your next loop, your heart rate actually goes down more. So your minimum heart rate on a fast loop is lower than your minimum heart rate on a slow loop. So in the 5 minutes that I'm recovering, between 55, even though my heart rate's been lower the entire time, because I only get 5 minutes as opposed to 18, in that 18 minutes, my heart rate's able to go down much, much lower. So there is a benefit to like mixing it up, I think.
And that's recovery. You're thinking that would be like recovery when your heart rate is low.
Well, it's another aspect, I guess, of the whole thing is maybe you need some periods where your heart rate goes back down, right?
Yeah, this is basically an extrapolation of your Charlie number that we talked about back in the day, and we haven't brought up in a while here. But the Charlie number is how many additional beats per minute you need to do a mile over your resting heart rate. So if you're doing it at 7 minutes and you're averaging 150, then it would be 700 would be your Charlie number. And if you're doing a slow, but your heart rate's much lower, maybe you're expending less energy. I always thought that the sweet spot was kind of right in that 8 to 9 minutes. Am I wrong? 8 to 9 minutes per mile for me, for my Charlie number?
In terms of efficiency?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not sure. I think it depends on how fast you are. Like probably the faster you are, the lower it is, I would imagine.
It's definitely not all out though, because you're not.
No, it's not all out, and it's not marathon pace. It's slower than marathon pace, but it's not like it's not super slow either. Right. So I would guess that mine right now is about mid-8s.
So we're talking about the optimal speed to have the least amount of heartbeats in 1 mile.
Yeah.
And heartbeats being the proxy for energy spent. I just have a feeling that some listeners may be like, what the hell are these two guys talking about?
We're losing people here, but
I just want to make sure we're talk about this all the time.
So I do have a workout planned about 2 or 3 weeks before the backyard, where I'm going to run 1 mile at each of the different I'm going to start at 8 and then 8:30, then 9, and measure the relative efficiency on a single workout so that I go from harder to easy so that like you don't get tired.
Right.
And so you can kind of measure the relative efficiency throughout. And then that could inform me of when I'm running, because I kind of just go by feel right now on what pace I'm running. I know that slow is not good. I'm better off going at a comfortable pace that is not super slow for me, I feel, but when I'm running and then do more walking, right? So that's the other, and then there's so many things I'm learning on doing these things that it's not even the training that's beneficial. Is I'm also learning walking can be hard. So in all the yards that I've done, I think I've done like 50 some in my training so far.
You've done 50 yards in 3 weeks of training?
I think it's 4 weeks, over 4 weeks.
4 weeks. So that is, again, as a reminder to listeners, that is 50 hours of running, either on the treadmill or outside in freezing Winnipeg.
Yeah. So what was that I was saying about the walking, right? This is what we're talking about. Yeah. So it's roughly, in terms of time, it's about 50-50 walking and running that I've done in those 54 yards. And in terms of distance, it's about 2/3 running and 1/3 walking.
Okay.
So like, you really got to think that your ability to walk is a major success factor in, I think that this ankle injury is more me not being used to walking so much. More than the running, because I do not feel it when I'm running. Like, I did that 16 miler this weekend there, and I didn't feel it at all. And then as soon as I was done and I started walking, I was like, oh, this is sore again. But when I was running, I did not, like, didn't even notice it.
Do you find that, first off, I should probably tell people in case they haven't noticed that I'm like, it's borderline wellness check on Rob Tatro here, just because I'm so freaking jealous of what you're doing. And like, it's so upsetting for me to see you do all these yards. And I know it's going to be a direct contributor to your success and I know that I'm not I know I'm not getting that. So it's incredibly painful for me to sit here and watch you do all these yards. People might be like, well, why isn't Rob doing these yards? So I'd love to join you on these yards, but I've not been able to. But how have the long runs gone when you're training, when you're doing your marathon build after getting all these miles in?
Yeah, so this was the thing, I wasn't sure about how it was going to go, but my plan was originally I had a plan where I was kind of alternating weeks between backyard and long runs. So I don't do one, I do one or the other. So
right, because you can't, it's tough to get a long run. It's tough to get a nice fast finish in when you're doing 20 hours of running.
Yeah. So, but like this last weekend, I had originally scheduled in that I was going to do yards and then a long run and then yards all weekend. But I told you I had my ankle hurt on Saturday or even at the end of Friday. And I decided, okay, I'm not doing more yards because it's causing problems here. And then I felt really good Saturday and Sunday. So I decided to do Sunday, a long run with a fast finish. And now I have 4 straight weeks of straight up marathon training.
Okay. So, until your marathon.
Until my marathon. Yeah. So it's actually 5 weeks away, but I think I've got how many more long runs do I have? I think I've got 3 more long runs. And then,
are you sure it's 5 weeks away? Isn't it the week after mine?
Yeah, in my calendar here, it says
I'm 3.5 weeks away.
It says 4 weeks until event, but I have
4.5 weeks away.
Yeah, but I do have time for 3 more long runs.
Right, because
2-week taper. Yeah.
Yeah, you do your last long run 2 weeks before.
So this weekend was my first long run, and no, it went amazing. I don't know if it's a cheater track or what, but.
Yeah, I think the track might be a tad on the cheater side. Well, you were running in lane 1, so I don't know. I
have a story about this. Lane 1.
Boy, do I have a story about this too.
Were they mad that someone was laying in lane 1?
They're mad at me, I guess. Did you get an email?
No.
They're not happy with me.
For what?
For disruption and risk and injury and
for doing workouts.
Doing workouts on the track. It's pretty dangerous.
Well, yeah. I do them. So I also do them on Tuesday and Thursdays. I've been doing them.
Yeah.
And there's other guys doing them workouts. So it's not.
I didn't know that a gym didn't want their members to be fit. I didn't know that. I thought most gyms wanted their members to be fit.
Well, why? Like, what's the point of a track? Is it to walk?
I don't know, and I want to be careful here not to be. I'm trying to.
Whatever. I mean, there's other places to run. Who cares?
Yeah, I got. Yeah,
I mean, it is in a nice position and it's convenient, but
yeah, there are 3 lanes at that track.
mm-hmm.
The middle lane is for passing.
Yeah.
And we used the middle lane for passing. There's no incident. There were 2 walkers there on Sunday, plus 1 lady, I think, that was running. So like, I can't imagine that anyone felt that we were somehow, the 3 of us that were running were somehow causing an issue. I was just stunned when I saw that email, Charlie. Stunned.
Well, it would have been me because I did so I didn't know. No one ever told me about the lanes.
She might think I'm you. I'm not sure. But no, it was directed to me because it talked about sprinting at like unsafe speeds.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I was barely moving.
Yeah, half the speed, like not even as fast as Ilya does a marathon. Yeah, unsafe speed.
Yeah.
Anyways, so there was a sign up which I had never seen before when I went on Tuesday that said running outside lane, walking inside lane, and middle lane for passing.
Yeah, I think I've seen that sign before.
Okay.
Well, I think maybe it's a different sign or what, but
maybe I never noticed it. Anyways, like no one ever told me these rules. And so anyways, I realize now that I was running all on the inside for like 3 weeks. No one told me.
Yeah, I don't think they were upset at you, were they?
No, no one ever told me anything. So
this is maybe 3 weeks that we go to track, maybe 4, I don't know.
Yeah.
3 or 4 weeks. About 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, the second time we went, we were politely told, because there was no sign. There was no sign at that point, or we hadn't seen it. And we were running in lane 1, but there was no one on the track.
Yeah.
We were the only ones there. And she politely told us, hey, just so you guys know, use lane 3 next time. Okay, sorry, we didn't know. No problem. Not a big deal. So then we used the last time we went, we used lane 3. And then this time we used lane 3 again. And I mean, there's no one on that track. I don't know what's happening. I really don't know what's happening.
Well, it's not a problem at all. Like, I mean, there's tons of room. I've seen tracks like you do the one when
I go to track club on Thursday nights at U of N.
Yeah, it's way more runners. It's way more packed.
There are 80 runners in 3 lanes, and the lanes are smaller there. And Special Olympics has lanes 1, 2, 3. There's another 25 runners there. There's over 100 people on a 6-lane track, and it's about the same width that's tracks. It's an indoor track. No issues there. People pass. People, like when we do track on Sundays with Greg, I don't know, 50 runners. There's never been an issue. I've never had an issue ever at any. I'm just, maybe I need to just not get offended by this email and just kind of. So I replied. I apologized. I owned it. I said, let me know what the risk is, what the pace is. Let me know what we're doing wrong, and we'll gladly, if there's a max pace that I wasn't aware of, like let me know, and we'll make sure to not go run faster than that. So that means that for sure Simon Bérubé can't train there, and De Silva can't train there, and Johnny Coffin can't train there, and all these Stephen Dodds.
They can't even jog there.
No, they can't even zone 2 there. So anyways, enough about that track, but it's so anyways, how did your track?
My story is that the sign, I'd never seen it. So I'd been running on the inside lane the whole time, and I was saying 160 meters, 10 laps, that's a mile. It's close enough. I know it's 9 meters short, but like with the tight turns and everything, it's fine, I said. So that's what I was using as my mile. And workouts were going really well. Like I did, I don't know, I've got lots of workouts in and slowly been getting faster, and marathon pace has been feeling easier and easier and easier.
What are you using for marathon pace? 3 hours?
Yeah. Well,
6:52.
I start out there. So, but the first few times, like I was just above that because I was kind of like didn't want to go push too hard to start. But then the last few times I was able to hold it pretty a little bit more comfortably. And then this weekend, or I guess that was Tuesday, first time I saw the sign which said I had to run on the outside lane. So now I was completely rattled. I'm like, what's a mile here? 180 meters. And I did the math and I said, okay, so it's nine laps is 1,620 meters. And then the sign said 9 laps is a mile. So I said, okay, well, that's just going to be my mile on 9 laps. Okay.
A couple
And
extra meters.
yeah, but it felt way easier. So
Yeah,
I don't know if
believe it's not
I don't know if I
180.
got fitter or it's just the measurements are not right.
Based on the 800s that I did on Sunday there, Phil and I did, because we did 400s the week before, or the last time we did 400s 3 times ago was inside lane, and this time, and it was like dramatic.
It feels easier on the outside, right?
Yeah, it's not 180 meters.
Well, the other thing, like, how do you get 20 meters extra from, like, I'm trying to do the math here and see where that would come from, but it when I asked ChatGPT about it, he said, or they said that potentially running the straights, because you're doing more straight running and your turns aren't as sharp, it could feel easier, even if it's the same distance.
Yeah, I think there's a pretty simple formula. You measure the width of the lane and it'll tell you if the 160 is accurate, it'll tell you exactly how long the outside lane is. What I believe is the exterior of the lane might be 180. That's what I believe.
Okay. Well, I mean, but that's still like, so let's say I lose 2 meters.
Or 3 or 4.
Let's say, so I could afford to lose 3 and still be at a mile. Or pretty close to a mile.
We were like 10 seconds faster than we thought we should be on 800.
Yeah. Okay. So anyways, so my workout was 4 by 2 miles with a 1 mile easy in between. And I averaged 6:38 according to the 9 laps.
Okay.
And it felt much easier.
Okay.
Compared to what I was doing before, where I was like pushing hard to be under 650 on the last, So when you saw me on Sunday, I did the inside lane, and I did my last few miles were like in the 640s.
Way too fast for the track. Way too dangerous for the track.
Yeah, way. So like just under, I forget the numbers already for the inside loop. So it's 40 seconds.
160.
41. Yeah, just under 41, like 40 seconds per lap. And I felt like I was working it was at the end of a 16-mile run, but I felt like I was working way harder to do like 644s compared to like my last loop on the 4x2. I did like a 625 for 9 laps, and it felt easier than the 644. So
yeah, I really don't believe that outside lap is accurate based on just those 2 workouts.
Okay, so
same distance, same effort, same workout, just different lanes, and it would. Both Phil and I were like, "Well, that makes no sense."
Yeah, it feels a lot easier.
Yeah, but don't let that discourage you. I'm sure you're. I mean, you did 700 kilometers of running in 4 days, so like you're probably built a base, and you probably
yeah. That's the thing. I feel like, so after doing all those yards, I felt faster, even though it was like walking and running, like without any like speed work whatsoever. And then when I added the speed work, then this training is working pretty well. So right now, I mean, as long as I don't overdo it, I guess. So.
Yeah, I guess you're not. You're not worried about it?
No, I mean, I feel good. I feel like the body's strong. So, yeah.
and that is you got to figure out what your plan is for that race, because I know Gord's been asking me and what you're gonna what you want to do for support and all that.
For what? For
For the
backyard?
backyard, yeah.
I have a whole PowerPoint presentation. I can
Okay. Have you
provide.
talked to your crew and all that?
Well, I was kind of waiting for after this marathon, but I can provide them. I'm not done with my planning because there's a lot of things that I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to do, but I have a whole PowerPoint presentation that I made for the crew.
No, I just mean like who's coming and like that
Well, I
part.
thought we had confirmed Paul and Grant and
Yeah. So have you? Yeah. So I mean, because you'll be on your own for that. So
what do you mean I'm going to be on my own?
well, I'm not running a backyard in April. That's not happening. 0% chance.
But you're going to run a marathon in 5 weeks?
In 3 weeks.
So
I've been told I need to take a significant period of time off after this. I've been told I shouldn't be running, but if you want to run and just do Tokyo, do it. But then you need to reset and take some time off. So it's going to be like, I don't know, a month or two off probably.
Okay.
Like a break, an off season or whatever. No, I'm just telling you don't need to get mad at me.
Well, yeah, I don't understand how you can run a marathon, and like the marathon's harder than the backyard, isn't it? I would say.
What I've been told by my physio is that the tendons break down over time. Like it's a load thing. So it's a duration thing. It's a number of steps thing. It's a number of repetitious movements thing.
Okay. I see.
So
which tendons is it? Where is it?
It's like the same injury I've been dealing with. So it's like where the calf connects to the top of the inside, right by the MCL, and then where the quad goes over top. So the quad goes over top here, and then the calf starts here. So the in between.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Are you supposed to be doing any physio to strengthen it, or what's?
Yeah, I do physio every single day. Well, I do physio every day on my own, like the boring physio, and then I see him kind of once a week. I see my physio once a week just to reassure me that life's not over.
So you're doing like to me, it doesn't compute, because if you can do speed workouts, like that's one speed workout is the equivalent of 20 yards, in my opinion, in terms of damage.
Okay.
And I'm not a physio, but like I've run yards and I've run speed workouts, and I know how they feel.
Yeah, I've not been able to do a speed workout in a month, I think. Finish one.
Okay. So you're starting something.
I thought I was good on Sunday. I felt good. I got the okay to try it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that sucks.
Yeah, I have 200 kilometers in the last 5 weeks. Something like that. Is it less than that? No, it must be less than that. That makes sense. Anyways, I feel like I'm not running at all. I'm running 1 day a week, some days twice.
Wow, that's not a lot. Yeah. So your plan is just to run Tokyo, like not fast, or what?
Well, I'm hoping. So here's what happens with my injury. The cycle is usually recovery, let's say acute aggravation, recovery for 2, 3, 4, 5 days, depending, bike, and then long run. And then long run, I go, I do it, I feel good, I finish, I'm able to finish. And then 2, 3 days after, acute re-aggravation, usually. So it's always on the weekend. My long runs are on Wednesdays. I always 5 consecutive weekends in a row, I've re-aggravated on the weekend. So either the Saturday or the Sunday. And what I've been told is like it's the inflammation that occurs after you've pushed it in the long run. You feel fine, but then there's inflammation that builds, and then you go to do something else, and then it tells you to stop. So
okay,
he thinks I'll be able to run Tokyo.
Yeah.
He thinks you're going to maybe do some damage or whatever, but it's like a long run. You'll be able to do it. You'll probably get tendinopathy after. You'll probably get hurt after. And if you want to run Tokyo, run it. But then
okay.
He's saying, yeah, go ahead.
When's the last time you were feeling good?
It's been a long time, man.
So it's ever since that 100K you did, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. And this is from experience. I'm not a physio, but I get those types of injuries when I stop running. So I'm going to be a devil's advocate and say you should just run every day, and then you'll probably.
Dude, I can't walk. I can't walk when this happens. Like I'm in crutches.
Yeah. So it inflames incredibly after your workout, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just sounds familiar to injuries where I've had in the past where if I stop running, they flare up. And then I know it sounds ridiculous, but anyway, I listen to your physio. That sucks. I just want you to run. I want you to run the backyard with me.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to run too. It's been shitty.
Yeah.
There's days where I'm like, okay, it's behind me now. I can sense it's behind me. I feel great. Well, I feel great. I still feel it. I always feel it in my knee. Like it's always there, but it's just like, it's not like I'm able to walk. I'm able to run. I'm able to, and I'll get on the treadmill and I will crush a workout and it will be, well, those just the fast finishes. Most of them I've been able to get done close to or at race pace, and which is my new race pace, which is like really fast for me, 6:28s. Like it's really, really fast for me, and I've been able to do them. So I'm thinking I finish those workouts, and I'm thinking I'm going to do really well in Tokyo. Like it's going to be unbelievable, and then fall off every time. So part of me thinks there's a decent chance that I do a decent time in Tokyo. As long as I don't get like, especially I'll be tapering and I won't be running before. And like, I should be recovered. I should be from whatever acute injury has happened. So part of me thinks I'll be able to do a decent time in Tokyo, whatever someone is able to do on one jog a week. Like, I think, I'm thinking sub 3 is in play here. Is that absurd, you think?
Yes.
You think it's not in play?
I mean, for me, I don't know. If I don't run every day, I slow down. Yeah. But that's just me. So for me, it seems absurd because that's how I operate. But it sounds like you're the opposite almost. So it's like, obviously, we react differently to volume. Like I feel like the more I run, the less injured I get. And I feel like I don't know. I thrive on volume, I think. And I think you feel like you need your rest. I'm not sure. Don't know. But yeah, that's why I'm saying like it sounds absurd to me. But like if you think you can do it, then you can probably do it.
Sometimes I wish I just, there's all these experts in my life and I trust them all a lot, all of them. And I've relieved the mental load of the decision off of myself. Yeah. And I enjoy that. I like that I don't have to make the decision. But sometimes I think maybe I should push back against everyone. And this is not a slight against them. I'm just thinking out loud here. Because they definitely want what's best for me. Everyone does. obviously Joel and Patrick and Quentin, they all want what's best for me, for sure. And they know, obviously. I just think of like when I go to run with Rob, I run every day. I do, marathon every day for 2 weeks, and it's SFA, right? I just do it. And it's just like, you don't need to think. You just go and you do it. You just show up every morning and you go run. And no matter what's happening, you're in your hip, your knee, your ankle, no matter what, you just run.
Yeah.
And I'm worried that I might be really overthinking this. I'm worried that I might be really inside my own head. And I worry that ChatGPT might be a problem.
Oh, what's he doing?
Well, he doesn't want me to run, obviously, right? So he's
okay.
He or she, they.
Yeah.
No, he's a he. I call him Chad. He's a he. So and then you get the anxiety of making the wrong decision, and you're carrying that, and you're thinking, should I have run? So like this morning, I was supposed to do a tempo. I was supposed to do this was going to be like, we've decided we're going to do 2 runs this week, Wednesday, and I'm going to move my long run back to the weekend because it'll give me a bit more time to recover from this weekend. It'll time it better for the marathon. So moving my long run back to the weekend. So this was a staggered week. This was going to be, and like I couldn't walk this morning. I couldn't walk. So.
Yeah, but how long does it last that you can't walk when it happens?
It's less and less. Like the first times, you remember I was in crutches, it was like 4 days, 3 days, and it was 2 days.
So it's a significant amount of time. I was thinking
No, but that was back then. Now it was like 2 hours this morning where I was actually in crutches, and the rest of the time I was just limping around.
Oh my God, that sucks. Yeah. No, I mean, it's getting better though. So
it's way less time. Every time it's getting better.
So I think you're doing the right thing then. That means it's getting better, as long as it's getting better, right?
I think what I'm going to measure. So anyways, I didn't do my tempo today, obviously. I can't. I think the big measuring stick is this weekend. I'm supposed to do 20 with a 7 fast finish.
Yeah.
I mean, if I can do 20 and a 7 fast finish, like fudge, I'm going to be pretty close to.
You're doing this on your treadmill. Does it feel better on the treadmill?
Yeah, I'm not running anywhere else than the treadmill. I've cut track and I've cut outside. I'm going to be a full-blown wimp.
Well, I think it takes a lot less out of you on the it's
cheater.
No, it's just for me, like I feel like this winter, normally in the winter, it's a struggle to get the miles in because it's so hard outside. And this year I've done so much treadmill and track. Just feels way easier on the body. I mean, I did do like probably 20 loops outside there, but those don't feel hard. Like those are slower. No, I just think there's a benefit to taking a couple months and getting lots of treadmill miles in. But
I like my treadmill miles.
I'm looking. The only problem I have, so my big problem with this block is I feel like I'm getting fast and I'm getting like it's great. I feel good. I feel like 3's on the radar, definitely on the radar. It is kind of a tough course, but still, like I think 3's in the radar. But it's hard to tell unless I get some real feedback, and I feel like treadmill isn't real because it could just be calibrated wrong.
I bought a tachyometer treadmill pace measure if you want.
So how does the tachyometer
it's
work?
Like there's 2, you could do the laser thing with a piece of tape across and it counts the revolutions.
Yeah.
And it'll tell you the speed.
Yeah. Okay.
Or you can do a wheel. It comes with a wheel on it and you measure and it'll tell you the speed that the wheel is turning.
Okay. And does that tell you how fast you're running?
Yeah, the speed. Sorry, how fast not the
so
wheel is turning.
I'm just trying to get my head around it. So if the belt is moving at 6 miles an hour, you're moving at 6 miles an hour.
Yes. You might have a conspiracy theory against that.
No, that seems obvious when you say it, but
I think that's what the treadmill. The reason I'm mentioning this is I don't know if I've talked about my new treadmill on this podcast.
No, not
So
yet. Let's hear about the. Anyways, I love running on treadmill this year. Is my little side tangent compared to previous years. But yeah, go ahead.
man, you don't know how much I wish I could run on a treadmill right now. Oh my God, I wish I could just run. So depressing.
You don't have a treadmill?
I have a treadmill. I don't have a knee.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun running on treadmill. Like I was so excited to start doing 8 hours and 7 hours
Well, I
and
wouldn't
whatever.
say it's fun. Like it's a grind. I feel like it's a grind for 4 miles even, but you enjoy it?
I do enjoy it. Yeah.
Okay.
So I bought a treadmill. I gave my treadmill to my parents because it kept breaking. The deck kept breaking every time I would do intervals at
And
a
they gave their old treadmill to me, and that's what I've been running with all winter. Probably.
Did you fix the belt?
Yeah,
Did the belt
I got like 300 miles on it or something.
Okay, perfect. So they have my old treadmill and they love it. Apparently, it's it's a great treadmill. And I bought like I don't know what I thought was a nice one. I pulled the Rodney Dangerfield there. I walked in there and said, "Hey, you give me a little bit of everything." Hey, and he sold me the treadmill, and then I took it home. First jog, I took it out of the treadmill, and like my heart rate was just skyrocketing at easy miles, and I could feel it.
You got the tachyometer.
So I emailed the guy, and I say, "Hey, just so you know, I think the belt is off. Let me know what the best way to address this." He replies, "Common mistake. You're probably in kilometers instead of miles." So I replied, "Respectfully, I know what a 9-minute kilometer is, and I know what a 9-minute mile is. Like, I'm not making that mistake." So he goes, "Okay, I'll forward it to someone else in service and we'll get it addressed." Service guy emails me, "Oh yeah, you've got to switch it from miles to kilometers." I go, "No, it's not that." So like, anyways, 5 of these conversations with the service, they would refuse to come because I guess it's a common mistake. People think they're running in miles, and he refused to believe that I knew that it maybe wasn't in kilometers and miles. So finally, I drove there and I went into the store and I said, "Somebody needs to come fix my treadmill." So they came last weekend and they had this tachyometer. And this is what they do. The guy gets on the treadmill, puts it at 3, and he goes, 3 miles an hour. This is what it is. And I go, "Please tell me you're going to test my treadmill in a different way than just what you just did." He goes, "No, I got a machine, but I mean, I'm telling you, this is accurate. I do this all the time." I said, "Really? Do you?"
Just by looking at it.
Just by looking at it,
I can tell what 3 miles an hour is.
So I was like, "Okay, fine." I didn't want to pick a fight with the guy. I was like, "Okay, just fix my treadmill, whatever." So he puts a tachyometer on it, and he's like, "It's accurate." And I was like, "Huh. Well, that stuns me." I was like, "That's odd. I find that hard to believe." So I said, "What machine you got there?" He showed me. So I ordered one online, and it came in. And in the meantime, I had to do an easy run last week, or I forget when. Anyways, I did an easy run at 9-minute miles, and I couldn't hold it at 9-minute miles. So like something's not right. I either that treadmill is accurate and all the other treadmills at my office and at my parents' place and that I've ever run on are inaccurate, or that one's inaccurate. So what I did is I'm going to test all the treadmills at my work. If my treadmill at home is accurate, I got some problems. I'm way slower than I think. But anyways, I got a tachyometer if you want to. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Tachyometer. If you want to measure, it measures revolutions, and then
I kind of like it right now. It feels really easy.
Oh yeah, you don't want to mess with something that works. So like, I got to do this long run this weekend, and I'm thinking I could either do it at my house on my new treadmill that I think subconsciously is way off, or I can go to the office, and it's pretty chill at so I'm definitely going to the office. Just like I don't want to mess with, because I can't.
Did you ever check yours?
I just got my thing in the mail and Amazon today. Okay. So I just got it. So I'm going to check it. Like
I was waiting for the punchline here.
No, there's no punchline. It's like a Claude story. It's just a long story with no punchline.
So it was off by 14 per. When I was running at 6 miles an hour.
I'm actually worried. Because what if it is accurate? Then holy smokes, am I going crazy? Like, what's happening to my mind? Is it something else? Is it? So I believe that something's going on with the treadmill. So
Well,
yeah.
hey, that brings me to the story about how hard it is to get feedback when you live in Manitoba. You run on a treadmill, you don't know if it's accurate. I mean, with this tachyometer, maybe you can have some confidence, but still, you don't know if maybe there's an impact of just running on a treadmill. It'd be minimal, I know, it wouldn't be big, but running on the track, are the measurements accurate? Running outside is just hard, no matter what.
You can't just go when it's -40 and there's feet of snow and nothing's been cleared, or even if it has been cleared, it can't have been cleared right to the ground because there's nowhere to run.
Remember we did our long run prior to Boston, I think 2 years ago?
Yep.
On the gravel roads outside.
I told this story. You're talking about Marchand right now?
Yeah, that was in the winter, and we did that like on the ground. That was actually runnable though. That like I would take that.
Back roads, kind of the gravel and the snow. It's mixed up.
Yeah, and it was hard packed. Everything was hard packed. There was some icy spots, but like we just kept going, right?
I thought you were going to tell the story of the day we did the hypothermic, and we ran 8 miles before, then we did the hypothermic, and then we tried to do our 6 minute 50 miles on sheer ice.
I did it. I actually did it.
I did it. I wiped out. Remember,
I must have been in good shape back then.
I think we didn't quite get to 650. I think we got to 6:55 or 7 minutes, if I recall.
I think I did 650s.
Maybe, but I know I wiped out. Right, it was sheer ice, and wiped out. So yeah, it's tough to do because what do you do when it's like that?
And back to the treadmills, another story there is the treadmill that's in my garage, I believe, is the same one that my parents had when they used to live on Easy Street.
Yep.
And I trained for a half marathon in 2001.
They bought that when they moved to the city, right? We didn't have it in Marchand. There's no way we had a treadmill in Marchand, right?
No, I don't think so. So I think so I did a half marathon in 2001, and it seemed like the longest race ever, I remember. All my training was done on the same treadmill that's in my garage right now, I believe.
So when did I do my marathon then? It would have been summer of 2000?
It was before me, yeah.
1 year before you, summer of 2000.
Yeah.
I don't remember there being a treadmill at that time. I was running outside, but maybe they had a treadmill.
I remember you barely did any training.
Yeah, it's about the same amount of training I'm doing now.
No, you're doing way more now.
Am I? 1 run a week?
You're still doing way more.
Okay. Another thing I want to mention real quick here is today the New York Marathon qualifying time opened up, but the website's been down all day. I've not been able. Have you tried to register?
I haven't run fast enough to.
Okay, or even just for the lottery. Anyways, the website's been down all day. I am planning on running the New York Marathon in November. Or when is it? I don't even know.
November. Yeah.
November. And I'm going to tease this out right now to all the listeners of our podcast, but I'm going to do a contest. It's going to be a Run with Rob contest. You're going to get the chance to earn an all expenses paid trip to New York to come run that race with me and whatever, my buddies, whoever I decide to come with. So it's going to be, you're going to get a charity bid, you're going to get a flight, you're going to get accommodations. You're also going to get whatever musicals and stand-up comedy we end up going to. And we're going to launch a contest in the next couple of weeks. But if you're Canadian, above 18, and you got a real special reason or needing motivation or whatever, you're going to get to apply to this. And you and I or me or whatever, we're going to pick winners. We're going to maybe interview them on the podcast, the finalists or something. Anyways, that is coming.
Oh, can I apply? I guess not. Eh?
Yes, you can apply. Yeah, you can apply to come run New York. You're going to have wait, when does the qualifying window for New York count? Is not LA is not going to count for you? It's too late.
I thought it I would have thought that the New York window would have closed a long time ago.
I just pulled it up. It closed on December 3rd. It's calendar year.
Okay.
But I mean, for you, I think it's 305 or something. It is 305.
Yeah. Well, my PR last year was 311 or 310 or something.
Okay. Yeah.
But I will go sub 3 in LA.
You're going to go sub 3 in LA.
No, I don't know. I just don't know because of the feedback loop. So the other thing, so Simo and I might be going to Birds Hill I'm hoping it's going to be warm this weekend.
To go run outside?
I'm hoping that maybe if Birds Hill has some good surface,
that's a great idea.
That it could be runnable and we could do a long run there.
What day are you doing it?
Sunday. You could come. Like we could do, like, I mean, you're a little too fast for me, but I think it'd be.
Well, even if whatever, what are you, I guess it's 11 kilometers, that loop. You know, it's pretty cold, that loop.
Yeah, it's 7 miles basically, right? So I was going to do 18 miles, but I can go a bit longer.
I have to do 21, but I mean, you can always just go looping back for the last
loop.
Yeah,
yeah, for the last loop, I could just go back, yeah.
But
I have to scout it first. I'm not sure if it's runnable.
Is there like a Facebook page or a website that talks about it? Is there enough people that care?
The Birds Hill loop, how runnable it is?
Yeah.
There should be something, I would imagine. I asked ChatGPT and he had no clue. So
no, you gotta be careful with that guy. He knows nothing.
He just generic responses. Yeah, it's probably going to be there's going to be some icy patches and
then you follow up with, really? Are you just making this up? I apologize. You're right. I did make this up.
Yeah, probably.
Good catch.
Yeah. The other thing is I did I don't know what it's called when you sign up for a race without thinking it through.
I did one of those too. I think it's in impromptu. May. What did you sign up for?
So there's this guy that I've been talking to on Strava. I met him once. I met him at the backyard in Old Tom's last year, and we talked. And he said he was doing Ironman California. His name's Victor Law, and so we've been talking on Strava. And he said, "Are you registered for Suffer and Centennial? I know you're registered for Old Tom's." And I said, "No, I'm not registered for Suffer and Centennial. It sounds too much difficult." And then I went on the website after he messaged and I looked at who was all registered and I saw that your name was on there. So I said, okay, well, that sounds like fun. So I just put my name in there. There was only 2 spots left. So that was I was like, I have to sign up now.
So I did the depression sign up when my physio told me I needed to take some time off after Tokyo and that like the backyard wasn't happening. He said, I think you need to think of like a June race or something. And I said, well, how about late May? And he said, maybe late May. Yeah, I'll give you time. So I said, okay, so like 100K in late May might be possible. He said, that might be possible. So then I said, okay. So I signed up for that. So I have a backup plan but I mean, if I'm able to do the backyard for whatever reason, let's say I start running every day because Charlie advised me to do that, and I start running every day.
No, I'm not.
If you're super healthy,
it sounds like you're improving. So keep doing what you're doing.
And I get super healthy, and then I'm able. I take some time off after Tokyo, and then it just kind of goes away, and I'm able to quickly do some loops and quickly get ready for this. And I do it. Then obviously, I don't think I'm going to do Suffer because it's a month after.
Are you doing any easy runs though, at all?
Like today?
At all, ever?
Well, I'm down to 1 run a week. So no. I did nothing but easy runs for 2 months. I didn't do one hard run.
For which 2 months?
For like November, December.
Okay.
And then even January, when I went to Mexico and I was finally feeling good, I was running every day, but I was just doing easy runs. And then I came back.
When did you do your 100K?
It was like November 8th or something.
Okay.
No.
And have you felt good since then at all or no?
I mean, I've not felt great. No, I've not had a day where I've been like perfect because this stupid stiffness doesn't go away. It's always there on this knee.
Yeah, it sounds a bit like my plantar fasciitis lasted 2 years, or even like more than 2 years. But what happened was it got fainter and fainter and fainter, but it's still there. You still feel it every once in a while, type of thing. So it might be like that, where it just slowly goes away. But I don't know. Yeah. Because I really hope you get back in time to do the backyard. But otherwise we'll have to figure out crew and stuff. So
yeah, I would just plan on me not being there is what I would say.
Okay, well then you can crew me.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to do that. It's depressing enough to watch from a distance.
No, I think you would enjoy it once you were there.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe I'll plan on doing that.
Okay. I'll crew you at Old Tom's if I win.
You're gonna win the way like who's doing 50 hours of running right now to try to win?
No, there's oh man, there's competition in this.
I knew there's competition, but you are gonna win.
I'd be extremely happy. I think would be amazing, but I think it's a long shot. But I hope I do. I really hope I do.
I think you're doing all the right things. You're putting yourself in position.
Yeah. But if I have you on the crew, then I have no excuse.
I don't know if you'd want me on your crew. You'd just be mad.
I would absolutely want you'd be the best crew I could ever possibly have. What are you talking about? Like that'd be. I don't know. I don't think I could possibly have. You've been there. You wouldn't tell me to quit because you know you've been there. You know how it feels. You've done 100-milers. You know how I am, how competitive I am. You'd be, I don't know. I think we might argue, but I think it would be good.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go then. I'm in. I'll crew you.
But I'd rather you run though. Let's back up a second here.
Yeah, I mean, there's a chance where I do like 12 hours or something.
Do a half marathon. Training run. Half marathon, or 12 hours. That's a lot. That's 50 miles. What are you talking about?
Something like that, maybe.
Yeah, for sure.
And then crew after.
Yeah, because it'll be so easy for you to quit after 12 hours.
But I mean, yeah.
No, I think that would be great if you can. If you tell yourself you're only doing 12 hours, I'm sure you would stop after 12.
I've done that in the past. Like this is the time. Like remember when I paced that 10K?
Oh yeah, the 42, 43 minute.
And there were some other times where I told myself I wouldn't go faster than X, and I did it at like half marathons and stuff where it was training runs or.
Yeah. Well,
okay. Anything else?
Excited, and I'm hope you get better. I think what you did describe though is that it is, as long as it's going in the right direction, and the fact that you can still run, like to me, it just doesn't compute.
I know it doesn't make sense. I was talking to Claude this week, and he's like, "Oh, how's it going?" I'm like, "Well, I'm in crutches today." And he goes, "Oh shit, so Tokyo's out." I go, No. It was, what do you mean? Like you're in crutches? The race is in 3 weeks. Like what? And I said, no, I'm going to do my long run on Wednesday. He's like, well, what? Like this doesn't make any sense. And I was trying to explain to him, well, it goes away quick, and then I'm able to run. And
yeah. I feel like it's kind of just a temporary inflammation that's happening when you run. That means it might not be serious.
The other thing that I've not done is taken any meds of any kind.
Well, I wouldn't.
Well, anti-inflammatories, apparently it'll just buy you more time, and it'll just Like just
The
a straight up
inflammation is normally good.
What's that?
A bit of inflammation is normally part of the
But the
recovery.
inflammation is what's causing me to like.
I know. You're getting heavy inflammation. That's I think is what's happening. Like basically you're swelling up after every run, and that's causing some pain. And then when the swelling goes down, then you're back to normal, right? So it makes me think that what you have isn't serious. It's just managing, especially that you can run it that fast. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, isn't serious. I can't think of it's. Yeah, it certainly feels serious to me.
I know, but I guess what I'm saying. So you're saying you're in crutches for 5 hours after your runs, right?
3 days after, usually when I'm trying to, get on a treadmill again or track or run outside or something. Well, that's what it's been the last 4 weeks. 2 of them were outside running and 2 of them were track. So I get home, either I get home or it happens during the second run of my week on the weekend, 3 or 4 days after my hard run. And then it's usually it lasts less and less long, a day, 2 days, a day, half a day, a few hours now.
Yeah. So my theory on how you could get this to work to test out, you could test this out 1 week maybe, is instead of doing anything but just run 100% treadmill, no matter what.
Yeah, I've decided. I'm not doing anything but treadmill.
And instead of doing any workouts, so do your long run as you normally do, then take a day off, then just do a short, easy run. See how it feels, and then take another day off, and then a short, easy run again. Every 2 days, maybe in there add an extra day of rest if you want. And then that way you're getting 3 and see how it feels. I bet you it'll feel better, is my theory. I don't know why. I just feel like sometimes just by running, sometimes you trigger your body to do things that your body will trigger response to heal, right? So I think that's what's happening. Why, on the second run, you're doing another run and your body responds by trying to heal. And what it does is it does a big shot of healing, which prevents you from running.
Right. So you're saying if I did easy runs instead?
Easy runs that trigger a small amount of healing. I don't know. I'm just inventing stuff. I'm not a doctor. Right? This is how it feels like for me when this is just based on feelings. So it's not.
Yeah.
But if it sounds like it's always that set, but also you're putting it under stress by either going outside.
Yeah, I'm done with that now. So I'm hoping,
or
honestly, I think there's a chance here. There's a chance that I do this long run this weekend.
Yeah.
I kind of small flare up or no flare up a few days later, run once or twice easy next week, another hard long run next weekend. And then I've done my training block kind of thing. And then,
really? You only have 2 more? Oh, I guess I've got 3. So you only got 2.
Yeah, I got this weekend and next weekend. It's supposed to be 20 miles this week and 22 next week. Wow. If I can get those 2 in, even if I spend some time on crutches in between, I think there's a chance at a decent day in Tokyo. A chance. I'd hate to go there. I mean, whatever. I'll go back if I have to go back. But clearly the goalposts have moved now. Obviously, there's one goal now, and it's just somehow to scratch out a sub 3 if there's any chance in hell in doing that.
Find a windbreaker. And
yeah, I didn't realize how much windbreaking, crazy. I listened to that book.
Our guest, who was our guest last week? Simon,
and also Endurance, I think, or Endure. One of those books they talked about it's way more optimal than I thought. So yeah, maybe anyway, so I'm that's my one goal right now. And if I can somehow scratch out a 259.50 in 3 weeks, with almost no running, that'll be a big win.
You see, so me, similar, except training hasn't gone this good in so long. I haven't felt this good about training since probably Boston 2023, 2024. And I think that if everything goes well, I would be ecstatic to run a 2:59:59.
Yeah, I think you're going to do much better than that, but
yeah, I hope so. Anyways.
Yeah, we're definitely trending in the opposite directions right now.
Yeah, I know, but you're still like, your expectations are still lower than mine, which is what I find interesting, is that like I'm at a high and I'm still don't have as good expectations as you do.
Well, I know that if I would have just stayed healthy, I would have got my 249. I'm 99% sure, because I was crushing those workouts. I was dialed in. I would have got it. I could just feel it, sense it. My workouts were showing me that I was going to get it. So the good news is, no matter what happens here, there's going to be a fall build, and that one is going to be fast, because I'm going to run around Nova Scotia this summer, and then, or across Nova Scotia, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to do a build. It's going to be awesome. So I just need to get the sub 3 for Tokyo, because it's a big process to get to Tokyo. So if I got to go back, that's my goal right now.
Yeah, but Tokyo's going to be fun. It wouldn't be the worst thing to go back there.
No, I guess not.
I mean, I don't know. Does it? Yeah. And you plan on doing something? New York's a tough course, but I guess like if you can run a 250, that's a 255 in New York, I guess.
Yeah, it was so fun. New York was so fun. I just want to and I don't have a sub 3 there, so I need it. So,
right.
Okay. Next week, we got a special guest. You guys know him as the man who invented running day in Winnipeg. Junel Malapat is joining us next week. I'm really pumped to interview him. He's a bit of a god here in the Manitoban running community. He's just, everyone that I've ever spoken to loves this guy. So I met him once or twice. I think you've probably met him more than that.
I'm sure I've met him, but I'm not sure when.
Just a beauty. I chatted with him at the boxing.
Yeah, no, it'll be nice. There's a documentary I think he made and things like that. Yeah, so yeah.
So he's coming on next week, and then after that, it's going to be like recap or prep for our 2 races and recap for our 2 races, and going to be busy. So that's it. Anything else, Charlie?
No, get better.
Get better. All right. Thanks for tuning in, guys. What do I have to do here? More miles, less pace.
More miles, less pace. Yeah.
More miles, less pace. All right. See you guys.